Most parents today optimize for academics, grades, test scores, credentials. But here's the uncomfortable question. What if the skills that actually shape a child's future are not being taught in classrooms at all? Across centuries, one system has quietly trained not just bodies, but minds, behavior, and social intelligence. That system is Kung Fu, and its value goes far beyond self-defense. In an era of rising childhood inactivity, increasing anxiety, and declining attention spans, structured physical disciplines are becoming less common, yet more necessary. Martial arts, particularly Kung Fu, operate differently from modern education systems. They don't just transfer knowledge, they reshape habits. So what exactly does a child gain from this kind of training? Let's break it down. Reason number 1. Confidence is built, not given. Children do not become confident instantly. In Kung Fu training, confidence develops slowly over time through repeated effort, correction, and visible progress. At the beginning, many children struggle with basic movements, balance, and coordination, and this can make them unsure of themselves. However, as they continue practicing and begin to improve step by step, they start to notice that they can do things they could not do before. This gradual improvement builds trust in their own ability. Unlike confidence that comes only from praise, this type is based on real results that the child can see and feel. Over time, this confidence also begins to show in how they speak, how they interact with others, and how they approach new challenges. Research in youth development shows that children involved in structured activities can experience about 20 to 30% higher self-confidence, as reported in studies published by the Journal of Youth and Adolescence. Reason number 2, the body becomes a foundation. Kung Fu provides a full-body workout that includes strength, flexibility, endurance, and balance. During training, children use almost every part of their body, which helps them grow stronger and more physically capable over time. This is important because global data shows that more than 80% of adolescents are not physically active enough, according to the World Health Organization. Kung Fu offers a structured way to stay active while also learning useful skills. Regular martial arts training can improve cardiovascular fitness by around 10 to 20% over time, based on exercise science data from the American College of Sports Medicine. As children build strength early in life, they are less likely to face long-term health problems and more likely to develop habits that support a healthy lifestyle. Reason number 3, coordination enhances capability. Kung Fu training requires controlled and precise movements that involve the entire body. Children learn how to move their hands, legs, and body together in a coordinated way, which improves their balance and overall control. At early stages, many children may find it difficult to keep their movements steady, especially during periods of rapid growth. However, consistent practice helps them become more stable and aware of how their body moves in space. This improved coordination not only helps in martial arts, but also supports performance in other activities such as sports and daily tasks. Studies in youth physical development show that structured movement programs can improve coordination by up to 25%, supported by findings from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Reason number 4, presence can deter conflict. Children who practice Kung Fu often develop better awareness of their surroundings and how they carry themselves. They learn to stand upright, maintain eye contact, and stay alert without appearing afraid. This kind of presence can make a difference in social situations, especially in environments where bullying may occur. In many cases, children who appear confident and aware are less likely to be targeted because they do not seem vulnerable. Kung Fu also teaches children how to stay calm and think before reacting, which helps them avoid unnecessary conflict. Research suggests that confidence and social awareness can lower bullying risk by up to 30%, based on data from the National Center for Education Statistics. Reason number 5, focus becomes a trained skill. Kung Fu requires children to pay close attention during training. They must listen to instructions, remember sequences of movements, and perform them correctly. This repeated process trains the mind to stay focused for longer periods of time. At first, some children may find it difficult to concentrate, especially in a structured setting. However, with regular practice, their ability to stay engaged improves. This stronger focus often carries into schoolwork and other activities that require attention. Studies show that children involved in structured physical activity can improve attention and focus by around 15 to 20%, according to research from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Reason number 6. Discipline evolves into self-discipline. At the beginning of Kung Fu training, discipline is guided by instructors through rules, routines, and clear expectations. Children are taught when to move, how to behave, and how to follow instructions carefully. Over time, this external discipline begins to change into self-discipline. Children start to take responsibility for their own progress. They begin setting personal goals, practicing on their own, and pushing themselves to improve even when it is difficult. This ability to stay consistent without being forced is an important life skill. Research indicates that structured programs can increase goal setting and persistence by up to 40%, as supported by findings from the American Psychological Association. Reason number 7. Shared struggle builds strong bonds. Kung Fu classes bring children together in a shared environment where everyone is learning and improving at their own pace. They face similar challenges, make mistakes, and gradually get better through practice. This shared experience creates a strong sense of connection among students. Instead of competing in a negative way, they often encourage and support one another. Over time, this builds trust and teamwork. These relationships are usually stronger than casual friendships because they are built through effort and consistency. Social development research shows that group-based, structured activities can improve cooperation and bonding by around 20%, according to the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning. Reason number 8. Respect becomes a daily practice. Respect is a central part of Kung Fu training and is practiced in every session. Children are taught to respect their instructors, their fellow students, and the learning environment. This is shown through simple actions such as listening carefully, following instructions, and behaving properly during training. Over time, these habits become natural and begin to influence how children behave in other areas of life, including school and home. Learning to respect others also helps children understand the value of experience and knowledge. Studies in behavioral development show that structured environments can improve respectful behavior by up to 25%, based on research from the American Psychological Association. Reason number 9. Calmness emerges from controlled stress. Kung Fu training involves physical effort and controlled challenges that push children out of their comfort zone. During training, they may feel tired, frustrated, or challenged, but they learn how to manage these feelings without giving up. This helps them build emotional control over time. Physical activity also helps release build-up energy and tension, which can reduce stress. As children continue training, they often become calmer and more stable in their reactions to difficult situations. Research shows that regular physical activity can reduce stress and anxiety in children by about 20 to 30%, according to the World Health Organization. Reason number 10. Engagement through enjoyment. Kung Fu remains enjoyable for most children because it combines movement, challenge, and clear progress. Each new skill learned gives a sense of achievement, which keeps children interested and motivated. Unlike activities that feel repetitive or forced, Kung Fu offers variety and visible improvement, which makes children want to continue. Enjoyment plays a key role in consistency, and consistency is what leads to long-term results. Studies show that children are more than 50% more likely to stick with activities they find enjoyable, based on findings from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. What makes Kung Fu particularly interesting is how it contrasts with modern systems. Traditional education often prioritizes cognitive output. Kung Fu integrates physical, mental, and social development simultaneously. One optimizes for information, the other optimizes for transformation. Ultimately, the question may not be about Kung Fu itself. It may be about what societies choose to value in the development of children. For much of modern history, success has been measured mainly through academic achievement, where grades and certificates are used as the main indicators of progress. However, as environments become more complex, competitive, and unpredictable, there is growing evidence that other qualities are just as important. Traits such as discipline, resilience, awareness, and emotional control are becoming more necessary in everyday life, especially as children face increasing distractions and pressure. Kung Fu does not replace education, and it is not meant to compete with it. Instead, it develops areas that formal education often does not fully address. It builds habits through action, not just instruction, and it trains both the body and the mind at the same time. In that sense, Kung Fu is not simply a traditional practice from the past. Its structure and approach may actually fit the needs of the present more closely than expected. So the question becomes simple. If you had the chance to add one system to a child's development, one that strengthens both the mind and the body at the same time, what would you choose? Would you go with what is easy, familiar, and convenient? Or would you choose something that builds real ability step by step over time?